Quieter and quieter.
Quieter and quieter.
That is the aim, and what I shall achieve.
Hello.
Hi.
We're on Instagram now.
Hell yeah, MasterCast official.
I just had nothing to do the other day, and I was like, there are some people who don't have Twitter, but who do have Instagram.
Indeed.
And it's just you gotta get it out on all as many different places as you gotta get it to.
We're branching out.
We're brand expansion. Yeah.
Corporate expansion.
Yes, we're very corporate.
We are so
over
professional.
here. Indeed.
Yes.
Today we have not all that much to talk about, so maybe we'll finally give in and make it less than an hour. Who knows? You do, because you can see how long this is.
We don't.
We don't.
This is the excitement of doing a podcast.
It's so
you
fun.
know everything before we do.
Well, there are some things that only I know.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
And this is correct.
I don't know how to work Twitter.
Ooh, what a very good way
Ha 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 ha.
of bringing the fact that I changed the Twitter bio to be more like the Instagram one that I made because it was boring.
Here's the new Twitter bio you made roasted me.
Yeah, and then I changed it again because you got a bit hurt by it. Oh, sorry for hurting your feelings.
I'm not pulling my weight. I am pulling my weight. It's just you won't let me have the Twitter.
You said you didn't want the Twitter.
I know.
Let's not have this domestic here. There's a time and a place, Paul.
Not in front of the children.
What's on Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture.
We'll come on to that later. Can we do the NTAs?
Alright, find out what we think of that later.
NTAs.
The National Television Awards.
24th of them.
The what?
There's
the 24th of them?
It's the 24th National Television Award.
Okay,
right.
There's only been 24?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Decca won like
Basically
90%. I think they're on their 18th now.
Yeah. Right, okay, so Bodyguard appears
Obviously
twice.
Bodyguard won because it's Bodyguard.
It's the best new drama.
Yeah, obviously. And Richard Madden.
And the best drama performance.
Yeah.
Good old Rob Stark.
The thing is, right, because obviously Jodie Whittaker was nominated for Best Drama Performance, which I thought there were a male and a female. There are two versions of that. There aren't. I didn't realise. It was just Best Drama Performance. And obviously Richard Madden won.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that Jodie's bad, but...
I haven't seen Bodyguard, but I think he probably deserves to. Because I don't think Jodie deserved to win. Because, and it's partly because of the writing, I have mentioned many times just to people, and I probably mentioned it on the Doctor Who podcast we did. I don't fully remember.
There's too much to try and remember from that one.
2.25 hours of
Doctor Who rambles.
Doctor Who rambling. But she's written like a fan film.
Yeah.
And her performance doesn't elevate the writing enough. It's not like Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi, where their performance is so good that even though their writing is bad, they're enjoyable to watch.
Indeed,
and you know they make it so you can sit through the worst of episodes.
Yeah.
Jodie can't do that.
No.
And obviously it's not a sexist thing. It's not because she's a woman.
Not to say she's a good actor.
Yeah.
Actress.
Yeah.
I say actor because it's a profession.
Ooh, sorry.
No, but it is the
What a
profession.
try-hard.
Actor.
Get on with it, Paul.
Yeah, she's good. It's just the fact that more often than not, the writing can make or break a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the writing wasn't.
The writing's been inconsistent. Yeah, it's been very inconsistent. Like I saw it was like a YouTube poop or whatever, you know, where they edit stuff around to make it funny, and this usually just they make people say sex and swear words. But it was like in Arachnids in the UK, where she says, "I love a conspiracy," and then it then in Kablam when she says, "I don't like conspiracies." And it's like, yes, very consistent.
Continue it.
Yeah, I rewatched. I think it was within this week. I don't know. All the days just. Well, it's been a long week.
It's a long week.
I rewatched just because it came up in my recommended on YouTube, and it was the interview they did with Matt Smith when he was first cast, and it's 10 years ago now.
10 years?
Since that, yeah, because it was January 2009.
Jesus.
That was released. He was announced like end of 2008.
Good God.
But if they were like, what's your Doctor going to be like? And he was like, I've had like these 6 months to form my own and create my own version. And he comes in the 11th hour and you get it. That's it. And that's his character.
That is
and
the Doctor
it's
all the way through.
the same character
Yeah.
every episode of that series. Obviously, there's little differences because it's a different context and different stories. But it's the same character. You know how that character...
It's lighthearted and jovial.
Yeah.
Until the point where it gets down to business.
Yeah.
And you can see the flip in him.
Yes.
At that moment. So consistent.
I don't know what Jodie will do in any given situation, apart from say something cringy and wave her hands about and do a silly Harry Potter pose when she's using the sonic screwdriver.
Yes. Yeah. Richard Madden, he deserves it. He's a great actor.
And also I didn't want her to win because I'm not even sure Peter Capaldi got nominated for one during his time at all. Maybe he might have got nominated his first year, but he never won one, and he's so much better of a, at least for me, so much better of a performer than Jodie. Not just the fact that he's my favourite Doctor, but because like I would say that David Tennant would deserve it, and as a Doctor, I don't particularly and I would say that he deserves it, but even though like his portrayal of the Doctor is not my favourite, quite controversially.
You don't like
it's not this. Listen, it's a lot. There's a long. I've got a complicated relationship with the 10th Doctor, but like Capaldi is so. I think he's probably one of, if not the best actors to have ever taken on that role, regardless of how well he performed it. As an actor, he's one of the best.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I definitely agree.
And the fact that he never got recognition for it when he suffered the same inconsistencies
as pretty much every other Doctor
that Jodie's had, and at least his inconsistencies were more or less from season to season rather than hers, which are from episode to episode. I just felt that. And then obviously all the people who hate Series 11 are now using the fact that she didn't win the NTA as proof that the audience voted on the new Doctor and they don't think she deserves it. Right, yeah, but she was a finalist out of 5. She was one of the 5 like nominations out of, you think how many drama performances there are. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And also, the general public wasn't voting on whether or not she should get it. They were voting on whether or not which of the 5 people should get it, and obviously Richard Madden was going to get it. It wasn't just solely about her.
No,
but we'll not mention that because it doesn't suit our argument.
Okay, David Dimbleby, special recognition. Okay, James Moore, newcomer for Emmerdale. Yeah.
I think he has. I think he has like a disability. I think that's why. Because I was kind of half watching it, because my family were, and they were showing little clips of them and stuff, and he's one of the, I don't know what you call it, like I don't want to be insensitive, but like when their speech is kind of
slightly impaired.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're disabled, and it came up and I was like, well, he's gonna get it because he's disabled. And that's kind of a cynical way to look at it, but then he got it, so...
I mean...
I'm sure he deserves it, you know.
David Williams, TV judge.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I called that one.
Peter Kay's Car Shares comedy programme.
Pretty sure I called that one.
Paul O'Grady for the Love of Dogs, a factual entertainment programme.
I thought it was going to be Bake Off.
I don't think Bake Off. I think Bake Off would come up under talent.
No, Bake Off was factual.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Peaky Blinders won drama, to the surprise of, I think, If you told me there was a drama category for the NTAs, I'd just got Peaky Blinders. It's that.
But what about Doctor Who?
No.
I kind of stopped caring with the NTAs because a couple of years ago when I realised that it wasn't just gonna be about Doctor Who, and that was when I was
Mad.
A couple of years ago, I didn't care for. I just wanted Doctor Who to win all the awards, and obviously it didn't. And then when it wasn't even getting nominated, I was like, well, what is the point of me even? They're just all soap awards. Ant and Dec in This Morning.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just the same every year. This Morning won, Ant and Dec won, even though Dec's been doing all the hard work, and Ant did 4 episodes of Saturday Night Takeaway and then buggered off to rehab. Yeah. I love that. That's nothing against Ant and Dec. I love Ant and Dec.
Yeah, they're great.
And I kind of I'm happy about the fact that they still got that award, but also.
Did you really deserve it? Because the next one is Danny Dyer for serial drama performance.
Fuck. Danny Dyer won?
Danny Dyer.
Bloody hell.
You try and
I don't care for soaps anyway.
Right. Ant and Dec TV presenter, good on him, but really?
Who else was was nominated for that?
I'll have a look actually, because I'd be interested to see.
I think Graham Norton is usually nominated for that.
Yeah.
I think it's Graham Norton, Dermot O'Leary, Keith Lemon.
All right, Ant and Dec.
Yeah.
Graham Norton.
Yeah.
Philip Schofield.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Holly Willoughby.
Ah, true. Yeah.
And Bradders.
Oh. I think Holly Willoughby should have won out of that. Well, Graham Norton is a great. I think Graham Norton's great. So
he's great.
But Holly Willoughby, considering the amount of things she did this year.
Yeah.
And the fact that she took over I'm a Celebrity, not took over, but she stepped in.
In.
I think she probably should have, but then Ant and Dec, and there's still a lot of public goodwill for Ant and Dec.
I know, but I don't think this year it would be really fair to say Ant and Dec.
No, I think, but it would be weird to give it to Declan Donnelly.
Yeah, because some people just be like, who's Declan Donnelly? But because Ant was in rehab for most of the year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's especially deserving of it, but there's always.
But there's a point. There's a point where it's that. Them winning that is less about what they did this year, more symbolic of. Yeah, you did a bad thing and you're suffering through a hard time, but there is still public support and there are still people who are there who are gonna
back you up.
Yeah.
Strictly Come Dancing, one talent show.
Standard.
As you do.
Yeah.
Emmerdale serial drama.
I don't care.
I've never watched an episode of Emmerdale.
I've never watched soaps.
This morning.
I watched bits of soaps.
This morning daytime. Whatever.
Always. And they came in the next day hungover as per usual, because they always have a party.
Bodyguard, new drama.
Obviously.
Yeah. I'm a Celeb, Get Me Out of Here, Bruce Forsyth Entertainment Award.
I like the fact that there's a Bruce Forsyth Entertainment Award.
I think that's quite good. And The Chase won the quiz programme.
It's good that we left this to last, because Bradley Walsh couldn't be there. The Chasers were there. There's a thing there's so many things. When you've got a topic and you want to segue into other topics, and there's about 3. And you're like, well, which one do I prioritise?
Go with the
They're all kind of intrinsically linked, though.
Okay.
And the Chasers were there, and Bradley Walsh couldn't be there, but he FaceTimed in, and he FaceTimed in from South Africa. They're saying so Bradley can't be there because he's in South Africa doing another show, and I was like, is he doing Doctor Who? Because I knew that they'd been to South Africa for the Ghost Monument and Rosa in Series 11.
Yeah.
They spent 3 weeks there. And yes, it is Doctor Who. Series 12 is now in production. They're in South Africa. So clearly they've made connections there and they've gone back.
Which is great because South Africa is a beautiful looking place.
Oh, yeah. The Ghost Monument was stunningly beautiful.
It's a gorgeous shot.
Yeah.
If Series 12 is going to have more of South Africa, yes.
I'm down for that.
It's such, if you want some, natural landscape tactics, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely good. And you can do, some great coast stuff as well. Because is it the Cape? Is it Cape Horn or Cape of Good Hope?
I do not know.
I think it's Cape of Good Hope. Yeah, Cape Horn's the bad one. That's Argentina.
Right.
No, it's the bad one. There's loads of shipwrecks. The Cape of Good Hope is the nice one, which is okay.
Okay.
But do you know what I said in response to they're shooting in South Africa?
What did you say, Paul? You don't need to tell me. I already know, but tell them. Tell all the lovely, wonderful listeners.
Apartheid episode.
Apartheid.
They could do it. They might.
She's talking about doing a bloody Mandela episode.
I don't think Mandela, because that's too recent.
I think you're just remembering it wrong.
Please don't tell me you're proud.
I'm not. I'm not. That was awful.
That was an awful.
I couldn't think of a context, a way of wording it that was good enough. I could do quick enough. All right. Sometimes you gotta go with what you've got.
Are you having performance issues?
Hey! Whoa!
Yeah, that was.
None of that, thank you.
That was kind of a shoddy kind of Mandela effect.
Sometimes you gotta go with what you've got for your joke, even though you know it's not your best. So the worst thing that happens is when you spend ages, you get a really good one, and by the time you've got it, there's no point. Everyone's moved on.
Oh.
That's the worst feeling.
Oh, okay.
It's hard. Yeah. This is why I'm not a comedian.
Yeah, because you got to stay in that moment, don't you?
Yeah.
Act on it quick, but they might do an apartheid episode.
They might. Who knows? I guess
we sure don't.
We don't know because we don't have inside knowledge. Although,
wouldn't it be cool if we did?
Oh, wouldn't it be? Yeah, but then I also kind of
Do you know, if we had
experience it.
If we had inside knowledge,
we could flaunt it.
We could flaunt it, and B, that means we'd know people, so we can get the K9 spin-off, getting some traction.
I'm sorry.
The K9.
I thought you meant the Australian K9 TV series that was diabolical. No, you mean our K9 Pating Gathering Coil Solid Track Frog Twirly spin-off.
Yes.
Of course. It rolls off the tongue. That's the name. That's it. Do you want some more tea?
Does that have tea?
Yeah, well, it's a teapot. What do you think it's got in it? Bleach?
Yeah, preferably.
Aha. 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 This is the... I'm probably messed up the sound here. Yeah, this is the... there's a new segment to the podcast now. It's the weekly ASMR bit. Last week it was a biscuit packet. This week it's tea.
Ooh.
You're welcome, audience.
Right, so you could get that with traction if we knew people inside Doctor Who.
Yeah,
but we don't.
But we don't.
They might do an apartheid episode.
Don't tease me, Paul.
They might do. I don't think they will. Two on the.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do some more classic monsters this series? I suspect that we won't like. I think the Dalek in Resolution was like it was a one-off Dalek, and I think it was like you can't not do the Daleks, but I don't think that Chibnall will do like the Cybermen or the Master anytime soon. Yeah. Not to say that he won't do it in his era at all, but I think he will.
I think it's too soon for the Master because the Master really challenges the Doctor's morality.
And the Master was a big part of the Capaldi era. I think he'll bring back something really classic that hasn't been seen since the classic series. The Sea Devils, that's the one that everyone goes on about. The Sea Devils are kind of like the same class as like Ice Warriors and Zygons. In terms of like, they're so you like when you bring it back into the modern series, obviously you do your Daleks, your Cybermen, the Master, Davros, Sontarans. You know, they're the big ones, and then you've got like Sontarans are kind of like with the Silurians and the Autons and
Slitheen.
No, I'm talking about bringing monsters back from the classic.
Oh, okay.
Silly boy! And then you've got like Zygons and Ice Warriors that are kind of like the third tier, like they appeared in them. Although the Zygons only ever appeared once in the classic series. And they're one of the most recognisable. I loved the Zygons, and I wanted them to come back a couple of years before they did, in 2013. And they only ever showed up in one story. Mental. Yeah. So the Sea Devils, they're like the Silurian, the underwater cousins of the Silurians. They're the ones that everyone wants, I think. If you ask most people what classic monster would you bring back next, they'd probably say that. I'd be interested in the crinoids, personally. Google it. Just wiki it.
Out now?
If you want.
Okay. How do you spell it?
The Candyman. Yes, please. I don't know. There's probably the Vervoids. Ooh. Pteroleptals, actually. Wouldn't mind the Pterolept. Anyway, I'm going off on a Doctor Who tangent.
Jesus. They're weird.
The crinoids.
Yes.
They're big plants.
They are big plants.
Google Pteroleptals.
Pterodactyls?
Pteroleptil.
Pteroleptil.
Pteroleptil. They started the Great Fire of London. They're actually name dropped in a Peter Capaldi episode.
Okay, there we go. I spelled that very wrong. What do they look like? What the hell?
I think with a bit of modern refinement, they could look pretty cool.
Yeah, actually. They could look good.
Ooh, the Draconians.
Okay, calm down.
I'm sorry.
That basically means dragon.
Yeah, Draconians, they were nicknamed dragons.
Oh, cool.
They're
dragon.
like... Listen, I could go all day.
Yeah, we know.
But I won't. The Chumblies.
The what?
The Chumblies.
What's the Chumblies?
The Quarks.
Stop doing...
Google the Quarks.
Stop doing Doctor Who things.
Where were we at?
We
were talking about bringing what we reckon Chibnall will do with series 12 now it's in production.
Definitely.
But I hope he... I very much feel like he introduced the Stenza to be like the new Weeping Angels or the Ood or the Slitheen, where they're like, yeah, these are iconic, and they're just not. Because so there's only ever one of them.
That is... It's just...
So it's a bit pointless. I hope he tries to do something like an iconic new monster that, But we'll see.
We'll see. Do you want to go on to the... Is it the Academy Awards?
Yeah. Well, first of all, because I just saw a thing a couple of hours ago. Actually, it was. I think it was this morning. It was sometime today.
Mm-hmm.
About the Chasers were helping Bradley Walsh understand Doctor Who.
Oh, because they're very...
They're intelligent, and he's Bradley Walsh. Not that I'm not saying Bradley Walsh is not intelligent, but
they are.
I think
intelligent.
the Beast tried to describe the TARDIS as like his fridge, with it being bigger on the inside and stuff. I just thought it was funny.
The Beast is cool.
Anyway, the Oscars. Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture. If it wins, which it won't.
It better not.
It won't.
It
because it's... And the thing is, it's not there because of the film. It's there because of the cultural impact the film had.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Which, I think it's good that it's getting recognition. It's great that people are feel empowered and they're glad that there's representation. That's not a bad thing.
But it was by no means...
It is not Best Picture.
Not Best Picture. It's not even the best Marvel picture.
Of the year.
We
all know it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. We all know Venom deserves to win Best Picture.
No, it doesn't. Because you can say, oh, but it was a great film. Not really.
I'm just glad that it didn't get nominated for Best Visual Effects.
Oh, because
of that shoddy train fight at the end. I think the visual effects nominations are Avengers Infinity War, which I swear to God, if that doesn't win, I will be pissed off. Solo got nominated for Best Visuals.
I noticed that.
Annihilation. No, Annihilation didn't
Do you want me
get
to-
nominated for anything.
do
It
you want me
wasn't
to have a look?
Annihilation. Christopher Robin got.
Visual effects. Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
First Man.
Oh yeah.
Ready Player One. And Solo.
Ooh.
What would you pick out of them?
Probably. As much as I want to give Solo some love, I can't, in all conscience, say that it deserves visual effects more than either Infinity War or Ready Player One.
Because Infinity War was insane.
Just for Thanos alone,
yeah.
I think Infinity War probably will get it, and it should get it.
Ready Player One was
Ready Player One. Have you seen Ready Player One?
I haven't seen it in its entirety now.
Have you seen like bits of it?
Yes.
Hmm.
Seen bits of it. And it's a good looking film.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it again because it's one of those where it's like you either love it or you hate it. But I don't like. I don't particularly care to rewatch it either.
There's not a burning passion within me.
Yeah, but I kind of want to reevaluate it. But Ready Player One is, like I said to this, it had a big CGI battle, and I was like, well, this doesn't look realistic. But it's not realistic. It's a digital world, so I am more accepting of it.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Whereas, like, usually big CGI battles and stuff, like the big CGI battle in Wakanda in Infinity War, I can take it or leave it. Because it's all CGI. It's like, what's the point? Whereas, when it's a digital world, it's all, I'm more...
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but I would probably give it to Infinity War.
I'd give it to Infinity War, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Interesting one. Best animated feature.
If Spider-Verse doesn't win, there is no justice in this world.
Yeah, I know, because it's going up against Ralph Breaks the Internet.
No.
Incredibles 2.
Probably mediocre at best. I haven't seen it and don't want to.
I Love Dogs. And
Well, listen, I love Wes Anderson as much as anyone who does film studies.
Wes Anderson's great.
Wes Anderson is...
He's so consistent.
Yeah. Like, he's...
Because, I mean, like...
You know...
Pretty much any film by Wes Anderson...
We were in film studies once, and we were talking about the auteur signature, which is like how a director, things they do in every film of theirs, that where you it's, and my teacher goes, name a director with a distinct auteur signature. There's not Wes Anderson.
Oh.
Because it's the most obvious answer.
J.J. Abrams.
I say Chris Nolan.
That's Flair.
That's not the point. The point is his style is so distinct, and the animation style, I love it. I think my Fantastic Mr. Fox and it was a toss-up between seeing Isle of Dogs and Ready Player One at the cinema, because I couldn't realistically do both because I'm poor.
Sorry,
you laugh.
The delivery of that
I'm
was
not
great.
because I don't have the. Listen, I'd love to go to the cinema all the time, but financially, it's just not really,
not worth it.
But it was, and I kind of wanted to see Ready Player One more.
So you wanted to go see that?
So I went to go see that because I saw that with my sister. It was a toss-up between. But I was interested in Isle of Dogs because it's Wes Anderson, and also because I kind of want to stop seeing the same types of films that I always see every year. I want to kind of be able to branch out. It is just a case of I don't have the time, and I don't have the money. I'm just not able to watch all these different kinds of films. But I do want to, because I think the more I do that, the more I have an appreciation for different, as someone who studies film, there's a lot of films that you would expect me to have seen that I just haven't.
And there's also the fifth one in the best animated feature is something called Mirai.
Sounds Japanese, probably anime.
I think it is Japanese. So, out of all that, Spider-Man's is...
It's got to be Spider-Man.
It just has to be.
I don't know how much truth there is to this, but I heard that the 12 frames per second animation style of that was done because of budget reasons. Because the budget for it was so less frames a second is less to animate, so it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's ended up being. I mean, I don't know how much truth there is to that. It could have been a very conscious decision, but
It could have been a very conscious decision because the less frames per second, the more it may look like a comic book.
yeah. But then there's also just the styling but the frames. The frame rate is definitely a part of that style.
It's if it doesn't win, it's just everything wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that's the way it works. Oh, best original musical score.
Black Panther.
Black Panther. Ludwig Göransson.
Ludwig Göransson. Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
I suppose. Yeah.
It's a very good score.
Yeah.
And then there's just
good soundtrack.
So
I've been listening to the Series 11 Doctor Who soundtrack actually. I was listening to that when I was doing some work yesterday. I listened to the entirety of disc 1. It was on YouTube. I don't have but it was all on YouTube. And then I stopped doing work because I got bored of it. And so, but I just thought, it's good music. Well done, Sega Nakanola, very good. And it just reaffirms the fact that one thing I really appreciated about the music this series was the fact that every episode had a distinct musical style. Like the Saranga Conundrum, in terms of the music choices, is not the same as Demons of the Punjab, which is not the same as Kablam, which is not the same as Rosa, which is, like, the only one that doesn't really have a distinct style is episode 1, because it's episode 1.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at loads of these, and there's...
I'm very irritated, actually, that Sunflower didn't get a nomination for Best Song. Because all the stars did for Black Panther, and I think Sunflower for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse deserves a mention.
I'm just looking at all this, and people from Black Panther pop up so much. There's at least...
Except Michael B. Jordan for Best Supporting Actor.
Why? Why is he not there? Because that is stupid.
I think it got like the second highest number of nominations, Black Panther. It got 7.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me because I've seen about 6. But best actors nominees are Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, but they're all white males, aren't they? Is Bradley Cooper,
Willem Dafoe,
for
Rami Malek, Christian Bale, and of course Aragorn.
Viggo Mortensen.
So the Green Book.
For Green Book, yeah. I'll tell you what. Have you ever seen Captain Fantastic?
Captain Fantastic.
It's with Viggo Mortensen. We did it for film studies, and it's so good. You get to see his penis. That's not why it's good. I don't want any misunderstandings here. I'm just saying, you get to see his penis.
Aragorn's.
And who doesn't want to see Aragorn's penis?
He's
at the
a
end
king.
I'm not really. What am I? Why am I saying this out
He's
loud?
a king. God damn it!
God damn it! No, it's a great film. Yeah, they're all white men, aren't they? So
best supporting actor. The only black one is
Mahershala Ali.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
He was the villain for Luke Cage season 1, part 1.
Can we just I don't know, maybe get rid of Adam Driver and put Michael B. Jordan on?
For Black Klansman.
Yeah. Can we just get rid of him and put Michael B. Jordan on?
Have you seen Black Klansman?
No. Is he good?
I mean, I haven't seen it. The
Oh,
point
okay.
is, you can't really comment if you haven't seen it. It's like me saying, get rid of Viggo Mortensen for Green Book, because I've seen that, haven't I?
Definitely. Anyway, there's a lot of films on here that I have never seen.
There's a term called Oscar bait for films that are very obviously directly, specifically made to win awards. And in a way, it's why it's a good thing that Black Panther has been recognised and nominated for Best Picture. But it's hard to not be cynical about it and go, yeah, but it's just because of the cultural impact and because there's a lot of black people in it.
It has got a compelling villain.
It's good, but it's not Best Picture good.
Oh, and also something I've seen, Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award. Whatever the hell that is.
Why is there no Stanley Award?
It's
The thing is, if they'd kept the Best Popular Film category and Black Panther won that, I'd be alright with it. I mean, it would probably be going up against like Infinity War.
And Aquaman.
No, I think Aquaman would be too late at that point. It would probably be like Infinity War. I think the 5 would be like Infinity War, Black Panther, Mission Impossible Fallout, which got no nominations at all.
Really?
And and apparently that was. I really wanted to see Mission Impossible Fallout. I didn't because I'm poor, and also because the only Mission Impossible I've seen before that is 1, and I felt like I'd not understand things a bit. That's probably silly. I should have just gone and watched it anyway, but again, I'm poor. But and especially because everyone was saying great things about it afterwards, and make me even wanting to go see it even more. That got no nominations, but I reckon it would have been nominated for Best Popular Film. Probably like Fantastic Beasts and some Disney film.
Yeah.
What would the live action Disney film, apart from like Mary Poppins Returns, which again I think would be a bit too late in terms of like on the cusp, and it wouldn't be an animated one like Incredibles 2. Like there weren't any live action remakes this year from Disney. Were there? Last year even.
Was it?
But there's 3 this year. There's Dumbo, Lion King, and Aladdin.
Bloody hell! It's just don't hold back.
Yeah.
Don't hold back. Was there any Disney films this year?
No, the last live action remake was
last year. I'm gonna say no.
Was it Beauty and the Beast? I feel like there was more than just Beauty and the Beast in 2017.
Yeah, there was none from Disney this year apart from.
Because 2016 they did
Mary Poppins, that was it.
Jungle Book and Pete's Dragon of all things.
Oh god, I've not heard good things about Pete's Dragon.
Which one? The remake.
Yeah.
I think it was just kind of a bit like I don't think it made much money at all really, but
It's whatever. The awards is what it is. I don't really judge things off awards.
Yeah, the awards are kind of they're not. They are what they are, and I think the Oscars are very kind of pretentious and stuffy. There's a kind of stereotype about that, isn't there? I think it would kind of do cinema in the landscape that it is now. The Oscars haven't caught up because they're too afraid to catch up, and in a sense, there's it's good to recognise less mainstream films that are good films.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. Cinema is first and foremost an art form.
It is.
And it's important to recognise good art rather than just entertainment.
Trends. It's art
but I think if you had like a separate smaller award ceremony,
People's Choice,
that was like Oscars for the mainstream.
Just call it something like People's Choice Awards.
Yeah, but it wasn't just like like one award like best popular film. Like if it was an entire ceremony with like I don't know 10, 15, 20 awards max. I don't know how many they have in the Oscars because they've got like the main ones and then they've got loads of little ones.
You got about like a dozen, maybe more. That's how many.
But they're the big ones, the main ones. I think there's about say 15 main ones, and then there's ones for like short films and the stuff that no one cares about that they always put at the end. It's the same with the BAFTAs. But I think if you had like 15 awards total, and
maybe
it was for more mainstream stuff.
Maybe sort of mirror the awards in terms of
Yeah.
like best picture,
best
soundtrack, whatever.
But they were more mainstream,
exclude like
and
things
they
like short
were
film.
awarded by the public.
Yeah, public vote.
Solely awarded by the public.
Yeah, I mean that would be fine.
Because the Oscars haven't caught up and won't catch up anytime soon. They tried and it backfired. So they just gave up trying.
I mean, they're kind of sticking to it, which is commendable. But the way that they have it isn't.
No one really watches the Oscars much anymore, though.
I've never watched the Oscars.
Well, we're not American, so it's an awkward time. Anyway, but just like general audiences, the viewing figures for the Oscars are always really low.
Yeah, because it's like a big pretentious award.
Yeah.
Which is... There's nothing we can do to change that.
Well, no.
Unless someone
Let's
says this.
campaign. Hashtag Get People's Choice Oscars Awards ceremony for 2020 now. Get it trending.
Hashtag make the Oscars great again.
Get both of those trending right now on Twitter, on
Instagram,
Facebook. Get them on your auntie's Facebook.
Because nothing spreads quicker than putting it on your auntie's Facebook.
Get it in your mum's WhatsApp group.
My mum's discovered WhatsApp is awful.
Everyone's mum has WhatsApp.
It's the mum app.
Mum's app.
Mum's app.
Mum's app.
Oh, right.
That's all we got to say on the Oscars, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Kathleen Kennedy won an award.
What?
Yep. She won an award. I don't know what the award is, but she won one.
What, for the Oscars?
Yeah.
How has she won one before they even happened? Is it like one of those where it's like just one person?
No, it's two
Is it like
people. It's
person who managed to piss off the most people while still retaining their job?
Pretty much. Even though the EA CEO should have won that. It's the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award.
Ah.
I don't even know.
That says a lot.
What is it? What does it do? What does it do? I don't know. She basically won the award, and I don't think she deserves any award.
I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy.
Neither do I.
She's not as irritating as Amy Pascal, who's like, let's make movies about women.
Let's make movies, and if they feel
Let's make Ghostbusters, but with women.
No
one likes... Let's make Ghostbusters 3 with men, because people like... Ghostbusters is... Let's make Spider-Man films, but without Spider-Man. And women! What's that? You like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Well, we're going to do a spin-off with women in it! Let's make a Black Cat and Silver Sable. Let's make a Black Cat film and a Silver Sable film. Let's just make those two films one. Let's just not make that film at all. Let's make an Aunt May film. That was a serious thing Sony were considering.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
It's fine. Let's just make Venom films till
Tom Hardy just gives up.
I die of an aneurysm.
Oh, God. That was Kathleen Kennedy. Nice segue. On to...
Oh, speaking of Star Wars and me being pissed off. Star Wars Battlefront 2. That old chestnut. We just can't seem to get rid of it, although you did.
I deleted it.
Yeah.
I was sick of it. Shit.
They released a Count Dooku update, which I put myself through the pain of trying out. Not that I bought him with credits. I still don't have enough credits to get Obi-Wan Kenobi yet.
So you went on arcade?
Yeah, I went on arcade.
Oh, okay. That's the best way to do it.
He's got 3 abilities.
Which are?
He's got the... he's got one where it's like Duelist, which is the top one, where he just he's fast. He's faster. Attacks people faster, basically.
Wow.
It's like the Kylo Ren Fury. It's Frenzy. It's like that. He's got one where it's his right bumper ability is Expose Weakness, I think it's called, where it's like the affected players, it like slows them down.
Oh,
whatever,
okay.
slows movement, and then if he kills that person himself, that ability recharges instantly. But obviously when you're in like Galactic Assault or whatever, people will be shooting and stuff, so that won't necessarily. But if he kills it himself,
that's very.
And then the only one worth anything, or at least in arcade when I played it, was the lightning ability. So he electrocutes people and pushes them back. So it's kind of like the lightning and a force push at the same time.
That's quite cool. I mean, I guess.
But that's the only one worth any of you. That's like the only one I use pretty much. Because the other two I didn't in arcade at least. I didn't see any change in.
He's very catered to the hero on hero. Sort of
Yeah. He's
which
not.
is what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Really, because that's kind of Dooku's character in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's overall it's meh. I'm getting the opinion.
And Geonosis has been added to Heroes versus Villains, Blast, and Arcade. So I did Geonosis on Arcade, and then played few games of Blast, none of which were on Geonosis, of course.
Because why would you
Because
do
why
that?
would why
would you add in the map and then make it less likely in the rotation?
I was on Tatooine, then it went to Starkiller Base. I left before that started. Tried again, and I was on Death Star 2. So yeah, it's a good game, pretty good. I probably won't play it again until Anakin Skywalker comes out, and I won't have the. I don't know.
That one's going to be an odd one. What do you do for Anakin? Just rage button.
Can we not just have Mace Windu, please?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Mace Windu than Anakin.
Yeah,
I'd rather just have a skin for Darth Vader that turns him into evil Anakin from Episode 3.
Why is that not a thing? Why?
We're here all with Hyras.
Just someone.
Once we finish making the Canine show, we'll sort your game out. Although, well, we're not miracle workers. We'll try our best.
Just EA sell a license.
Just give it to someone else.
We'll buy it off
I swear to God, I don't know when. Surely their contract must be up soon. I swear to God, Disney, if you don't renegotiate and just not give it back, not give it to them again.
I bet some people at Disney are just going, okay, like, we need to do something about this.
Because it's
now.
like, how to take a brand that you know will sell money and fuck it up so badly that it doesn't make you money just from the brand. What? You should be able to sell anything with Star Wars on it. And like, I don't even hate Disney Star Wars, but Disney has managed to do a spectacular job of taking a brand as recognisable and loved as Star Wars and making people hate it. And managing to not just make it sell from the name Star Wars. I swear to God, at least one of the prequels made $1 billion, right?
More than likely. If I had to
and they're not good. They're not good.
If I had to take a guess which one, it'd probably be Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is Revenge of the Sith. Force Awakens and Last Jedi are both much better films. You know what? No, all 4 of the Disney Star Wars films, Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, and Solo, they're all better than the prequels. Yes, they are.
Okay.
And to be fair, Force Awakens and Last Jedi both made $1 billion. Whether or not Star Wars 9 will make $1 billion, who knows?
Why is it so difficult to find out what the Star Wars box office earnings were? Why? Oh, here we go. Right. Star Wars worldwide gross box office sales in the millions, and all numbers have been adjusted to inflation for 2015 dollars. Okay. So, A New Hope, when it was released, adjusted for inflation, it makes $2 billion.
What?
Yeah. It made 2016 million. The Force Awakens made 2 billion. This doesn't seem right. Well, how much will Disney want for? This is just odd.
Nah.
This is...
False Awakens ain't in the 2 billion club.
The
2 billion club is... Oh, is it though?
I don't know.
No, shit, it might be.
It's just...
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it is, because there's only 4 films in the $2 billion club. And I'm fairly sure they're Titanic, Avatar, Force Awakens, and Infinity War.
Okay. It's odd. It's just...
The
really
point
odd.
is... The point is... Star Wars should be able to make money just from the fact that it's Star Wars, and Disney have managed to
just
make it so that that's not...
Mess it up so wrong.
Yeah.
It's a
But
peculiar
that's-
thing.
Well, we got a bit of time.
We got
I want to talk about Doctor Who. I know I keep doing that, just adding in little Doctor Who bits this week, but I just want to talk about Doctor Who. Specifically, I want to talk about Peter Capaldi and why
he the best.
the best. So I was, because the more I think about Series 11, and I don't hate Series 11. I don't even dislike it particularly. But, like, I've just been rewatching Peter Capaldi quite a bit because...
That's what you do.
Like, he's just... I mean, obviously there's a bias there, like, he is my favourite Doctor. But, like, I just prefer that era of the show to the point where, like, I watched his most infamously bad episode.
Which is...
Hellbent.
Which one's Hellbent?
That's the one where he goes to Gallifrey, kicks the president off the planet, then revives Clara from the dead, Then he gets his entire memory wiped. And then Clara and Maisie Williams fly off in an American diner.
As you do.
And you know what? I didn't hate it. Because I decided to give it a second chance. And I decided to be kind. Right? Because Peter, I'm not in a position where there's more Peter Capaldi to come. I swear to God, if he doesn't do Big Finish in a couple of years, I think he will. If you can get David Tennant to do Big Finish, and he's a very busy man who's always working. Peter Capaldi, I'm not saying he doesn't, but he's just not as busy as David Tennant. He's not, and he's a massive Doctor Who fan himself, so I don't doubt that he'll be doing Big Finish sometime soon. But, I gotta savour the Capaldi stuff that I've got. And so I put it on, and it only started to really go south when he shoots the general and they run off to the cloisters.
The general. Fine.
But I want to do a bit of defending for Hellbent, because it gets a lot of flack, and I've been there. I've hated this episode, and maybe I need to watch it in the context of that trilogy of episodes: Face the Raven, Heaven Sent, and Hellbent. Because I do think Heaven Sent is a little bit overrated. I don't think it's bad. It's very, very good, and in a way it does deserve all the praise it gets. But is it possible to deserve all the praise that it gets and still be overrated? Because that's what it feels like, Heaven Sent.
That kind of sounds like describing Black Panther, if I'm honest with you.
Oh!
Deserves...
Heaven Sent is the Black Panther of Doctor Who.
It deserves a lot of praise.
Yeah, but it's still overrated, in a way. But Heaven Sent's obviously very good. But, I think Capaldi is great in it. I think that I just felt like the way he acted, like in terms of like some of the decisions his character made, were, I found ways of justifying them more. This time where it was like, well, yeah, like he is angry because it's because of the Time Lords that Clara died, kind of. I mean, it's her fault that she died, but it's also the Time Lords' fault. And then they trapped him in his confession jar for 4.5 billion years, trying to get information out of him that he didn't actually know, and he didn't want to reveal any secrets until he, like, painfully fought his way out. And then he's confronted by the president, who he fundamentally disagrees with, and the last time we saw him was Timothy Dalton. He was Timothy Dalton, and he was, doing whatever he could to get Gallifrey out of the Time War and stuff. It's not like the extraction chamber is a bit of a. It's like we can just bring people back from the dead, but it was never a case of. I don't feel like it was ever a case of, we'll just do that and they'll be fine. Like, theoretically, she's only supposed to be out of her point of death for a couple of minutes. Like, they're like, oh, we don't have long, I think it would have been better if she was, like, properly, other than just not having a heartbeat, not having a pulse. I think if there were more side effects of her staying out for longer, so it was like, yeah, I can still do stuff, but I will definitely have to go back and die sometime soon. And I get that it, bringing Clara out of and reversing the killing her, and maybe if I watched those 3 episodes as a block, I'd hate this episode more, because she had a great send-off, then there was a great episode where he deals with grief, and then this episode just kind of reverses all that. But, I don't know, I just didn't hate it as much as, like, there are genuinely really good ideas in it, I think, and the execution is just a bit off. but Peter Capaldi's in it, so...
It's Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi's great.
Also, I was... Because I've been watching Doctor Who, I put on Father's Day because Christopher Eccleston's in it.
Christopher Eccleston is best.
Correct.
Great. Christopher.
And I didn't realise that when they go to Pete's house after they save him, after she gets him out of the way of the car, he's like all his business plans and stuff. Because Pete Tyler is like, he had all these wacky ideas for business plans and they never worked out. And then he died. I didn't realise they showcase and like name drop the energy drink brand Vitex, which is the brand that makes him rich on the parallel world in Series 2.
Wow.
And I did not realise that it had been mentioned in Series 1, because there was no way they could know, unless that was their plan from the very beginning, which it very well could have been. It's Russell T Davies. I think he's very good at setting up something. It's like how Torchwood, the first mention of Torchwood is in Series 1, and then it's basically the story arc of Series 2.
As you do.
It's first mentioned in I think it's first mentioned in the long game. It's a thing on one of the screen, and then it's brought up again. It's one of the answers to one of the questions on the weakest link in Bad Wolf with Android. And then it's the story arc for Series 2. So it very well could have been that they were like, yeah, this is an episode about him dying, and then we're going to go to a parallel world where the Cybermen are, and he's going to be alive. Because I always felt, I was like, yeah, but like, there's no way he could be that rich, and like, and alright, he died in our world and he didn't in the other one. In the parallel world. But surely he would have had the same ideas and stuff. Turns out he did. And he managed to make it a success because he didn't die. And also, maybe there were little things different, but like, it makes him being famous and rich and stuff a little bit more plausible to me, because it's set up in, and I'd never noticed that before. I thought it was great. It's a good episode of Father's Day. It spends about 60% of its time just people mulling about in a church because it's the end of the world and they don't know what to do, and it manages to make it not boring.
Well,
like, half of the runtime is just Rose and her dad having a conversation, and there's literally about 5 scenes which begin with like she's sat somewhere, or like they sit down at some area in the church and have a conversation, and it happens like 3 times.
Why not?
That's good. Good episode. Very good. 10 out of 10. Not 10. 8. 7 or 8. Give it a 7. 8 on a good day. 4. 4 out of 10.
So just during that, when you mentioned parallel dimension, whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of got me thinking about something.
Oh, go on.
Why is it called a parallel dimension?
Because it runs parallel to our dimension. In
Yeah.
terms of the time. Like...
Yeah, but stuff in it's different.
Yeah, but it started at the same time, and it will end... Well, unless, like, the fucking mass... But, like, in terms of the time period, it's not like they go to the parallel world and it's 10 years in the future.
I guess that's why they have alternate dimension, but that's what kind of got me thinking, because parallel just go the same.
Yeah, they go at the same time, and there are differences, but they're at the same speed.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like you're taking it out of, in terms of where things relate to each other in space, and it's like, well, where do they relate to each other in time? And those two run at the same time.
So it's kind of like it branches off.
Yeah, if you think of it like a running track, and you've got all the different dimensions, and those two are going at the same speed.
Okay.
That's the way I see it, at least.
I get you now.
I don't know.
It's just the word parallel just got me thinking. That's not how parallel works.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, whatever. Fine.
Well, I mean, the only person who explicitly says it is parallel is Mickey. So, like, he's like, it's parallel, isn't it? It's parallel. I'm right. It's a parallel world, and I don't think the Doctor ever goes, yes, it is a parallel world, but they acknowledge it is an alternate.
Okay.
Version.
God damn it, Mickey's so smart.
Ah, what a clever boy.
What a clever boy, Mickey
He manages to hack into Unit, because you can do that on a 2005 keyboard if you just press some buttons.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how Mafia works.
That's how Mafia works.
Ooh, spicy memes.
Layered references.
Aha, aha.
That was kind of a big.
It doesn't matter anyway because Unit has been shut down by Brexit.
I thought you were just going to say Unit has been shut down, but no, you just said Brexit.
Yeah, because it's been shut down by Brexit.
It wasn't shut down by
Funding
Brexit.
and stuff. Brexit. It's because the joke of that is Brexit.
So the
the entire
NHS send the 350 million towards Unit, my man.
Literally, the entire part of that joke, it was a jab at Brexit, and a lot of people didn't like it. Obviously, I feel like Unit will eventually. It was a one-off joke. I feel like they will probably and it wasn't like that's it, they're done. No,
Unit resistance.
It was just that they were temporarily
disbanded
because of budgetary reasons. But they'll be back, don't worry. It's just a joke. And it's a bit in bad taste, but it's just a joke.
Unit resistance.
Yay!
Unit resistance. Should they call it Unit 2?
No.
Mm.
It feels like you're trying to make a pun.
No, should just call it Unit 2.
That's silly.
They should call it Unit 2.
No.
They should call it Unit 2.
They shouldn't call it that.
Fine then. Yeah. What should they call it? Just Unit again?
Yeah, Unit again. Get Unit again. Just get Unit again. Them ones. The other Unit.
They should call it the other Unit. Unit, the second one. Unit, totally unaffected by Brexit. That's why we're leaving the EU. Because the regulations are cramping Unit's style.
It's all a hoax from Unit.
They couldn't wear the red.
It was rigged.
They couldn't wear the red berets.
Nicholas Courtney will be turning in his grave.
There's the emissions from that episode and the Suntones. They
actually have to remake the entire episode, but
it didn't conform to EU regulations.
But they're just their baseball caps instead of red berets.
Yes.
Yeah. They're black. They're black flat caps. You're gonna make it British. Instead of red berets, they're all flat caps.
They're all flat caps just facing sideways. So they're facing.
It's not a beret. It's a flat cap. Very different. And they've all got secret knives in, like Peaky Blinders.
They make it tweed.
They're all wearing tweed uniforms.
They're all wearing tweed and carry a walking stick and a smoking pipe. What hell? This is Unit.
Dispatching the Suntones. Hold! Tea break!
Like the Suntorans by going on a walk and just poking them in the back with the walking stick. They just walk past smoking and just going, yes, rather. Poke.
Yay! We made it over an hour! You lose, audience!
We are here all week, Chibnall.
Too long.
The
weeks are getting longer between doing this. This is the most interesting part of my week now. And whoa.
I still love the idea of a gentleman unit going up against the Suntarans.
The gentleman unit. And when it's too hard, do you know how they call? Canine and twirling.
They call
Canine and twirling. And the ting.
And the gathering coil.
And the solitract frog. All together. Get them. Go.
We have to call in the chaps.
They ring up and Bradley Walsh answers the phone.
Yes, Bradley Walsh is
like a Janine in Ghostbusters. So you get in there, puts it down. We got one!
Please make that happen.
We go. And then he's like, guys, the chase is on.
And the beast pops around the corner and just goes, that's not the right show.
He just thinks I'm in the head of a door. No, Bradley. And then just shuts it again. No mention, nothing. Just let it happen. It's fine.
And the one there's like the woman on it who's kind of like looks like a head teacher or whatever.
The ginger one.
She just comes out and just
looks like a head teacher.
Peers down, just goes, shakes her head at Bradley.
You know the Beast.
Yeah.
You probably already know this. The Beast from The Chase was a school teacher.
Yeah, and he won.
Yeah,
he got
more money on quiz machines, so he just gave up being a teacher and became a professional quizzer. What a lad!
What an absolute lad! That is kind of like career goals. I'm a teacher. I know too much to be a teacher. Let me be a quizman.
You're friends with Bradley Walsh, so it's a win-win situation.
Exactly. He's really smart, friends with Bradley Walsh, and he's basically a national treasure.
Built like a fucking shithouse.
Built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah, isn't he?
He's so cool.
He's massive, that bloke.
So cool. I bet he'd get triggered in just random conversation where he just like hears a fact that's wrong and just goes,
That's incorrect!
You wouldn't argue with him, would you?
Yes.
You'd argue with the Beast.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny.
I reckon I could argue with the Beast.
You reckon you could take on the Beast? I'd like to see like a sumo match between you and the Beast.
I just spout shearing competence the entire time. I'd do that. If I do that, can we make the K9 spin-off?
That's the deal. If I win, we get to make this spin-off.
If I lose, we're still making it.
We're still making it. We just unlicensed. But we'll get it out there. You can't stop us. Do you think we should start a Patreon? Go and support us on Patreon if you want to see this.
We're not doing a Patreon.
If you want to see
you can start on
this
Kickstarter.
Aha.
Kickstarter.
Aha.
Or petition for the BBC.
Hashtag make K9 twirly solid track frog gathering coil pating spin-off starring Bradley Walsh in Gentleman Unit. Get Chibnall to say yes. Otherwise, Paul will have to fight the Beast from The Chase now. Or one word. Capital on the petit in pating. The petit?
The petit, the P and the T.
Yeah. I don't know why I said the petit, but yeah, capital on the P and T in pating. Not K9. Don't capitalise K9.
No. What are you doing? You don't capitalise K9. Moron.
Hyphenated though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've just realised there's one thing we've missed off that.
What?
Mr. Smith.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Headquarters, the Beast is using Mr. Smith like a computer.
Are you suggesting a Chase pointless crossover?
Maybe.
Richard Osman is. Like, Mr. Smith opens up and it's just Richard Osman sat in a chair.
So it's a bit Alexander
but
Armstrong.
but it speaks with Alexander Armstrong's voice. But it's got the face of Richard Osman.
It comes out, it's unsure about something, so it opens a side door and then Richard Osman on a desk slides out with his little laptop.
Richard Osman. He has to duck though because he's so tall.
He's like, bloody hell, come on, fixed.
Xander!
What else can we fit into this?
Tipping points.
We're
not getting... Nah, fuck off.
No.
No. Not doing tipping point.
What about that pig from the Celine episode of Doctor Who?
Oh, yeah. Let's get the Mox of Balhoun.
Just put the pig in it.
Put the pig in it.
just out of nowhere, just put the pig.
Let's get the Candyman in it.
What's that one?
It's from a Sylvester McCoy story. You know the man made out of licorice all sorts?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but human-sized.
Oh, good God.
I shit you not.
That is terrifying. I hate licorice also, so that just...
You hate licorice?
Yeah.
Disgusting, boy.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it.
Oh, God.
I didn't mean it.
Oh, good. Anyway, if you want to suggest any ideas for episodes of this spin-off, we'll write scripts for every episode.
Do you know what the worst part about it is?
What?
Some point, someone's going to buy it and put minions in it.
Oh, fuck off. No.
Will we accept...
Copyright that shit instantly.
Will we accept R2-D2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not insane.
Can we also put C-3PO on it, but not make Anthony Daniels.
Just to piss him off.
Just to piss him off.
Just get a guy, and like get someone who's like not even trying to do. Get some like Spanish guy. He's not even trying to do.
Hola, señora. My name is C-3.
You know any Spanish? C-3PO. So robot chicken sketch. Yeah. Just make him like Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Taiwanese C-3PO. Hashtag make C-3PO Taiwanese now. For Star Wars 9.
What about that little robot from the first Power Rangers series? Can we put him in?
Oh, Alpha.
Yeah, put him
1?
in. Put him in it.
I don't know.
Can we put him in?
Aye.
Let's put him in.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, because that's what he says.
That's what he says.
Let's put him in it.
We'll put him in it.
Who else can we put in?
Marvin, the paranoid android from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That'll do.
The Alan Rickman mum.
That'll do. I'll put him in it.
Yep.
Who else? I'm genuinely just racking my brain for more things that we can put into this. Can we put one of the Transformers in it?
Oh, what about the one with massive testicles?
No, he's too big.
What about the racist one?
Which one?
What about the one that disguises itself as a clock and kills Adolf Hitler?
What about we put in Ravage, which is the dog one?
The dog one?
Yeah.
If you say so.
Or we put in the Hoover from Teletubbies.
Oh yeah, get the Hoover from Teletubbies in.
That'd be good.
Mm.
What else can we put in?
Oh, what the mechanical arm from the first Iron Man? Oh no, it's the one from Iron Man 3. You know where it's holding the camera when it's filming it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same one that uses a fire extinguisher on it.
Yes.
That one.
Put that one in it.
That one.
He's got to be in that.
He's got to be in it.
What else can we put in? Oh, we could put so much stuff in it. It's great. We could just add more characters every episode.
Just every episode.
Every episode.
Until you eventually forget that it was ever supposed to be
a Doctor Who thing.
A Doctor Who.
Need more. Need more. We need more.
I'll tell you what we need.
What?
To end this podcast.
No.
Oh!
I'm not done. I need more.
Listen, you can fantasize about this next week. I don't know what.
I'm going to make a list.
Turns out we didn't talk about Titans because I haven't seen it.
I'm going to make a list for next week.
Okay, you do that. Pull your own weight.
Watch me. Watch me make a list for this.
All right,
I'm going to listen to this back.
Okay.
I'm going to write down everything we have said.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to add more.
Will this be the first time you've actually listened to it back?
Pretty much. I listened to the first one.
I actually usually listen to... Yeah, because I made you listen to it.
Yeah, you did.
I actually usually listen to most of them back. I didn't last week's because I did it. But I usually listen to them... Because we record them on a Thursday and they go up on a Friday. So I usually listen to them in between. And like the Doctor Who one I had to listen to because I needed to get the time codes for each episode and then also edit it and stuff. And so I usually do actually listen to these back. But maybe I won't with this one because I can't be asked.
Just put Scrat in it.
Sure. Next week is episode 10.
Is it? Good God.
How time flies when you're
having fun making this stupid stuff.
When you do this instead of focusing on things that will actually affect your future.
Yeah. Who needs A levels?
Not me. God.
Like a mock cap coming up.
Oh no, that's so. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care either.
Okay, we'll see you all next week.
When I've made this giant list,
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. That's an hour and a half next week of Paul listing off his entire ideas. I don't care what happens within the week, whether it's topical, whether we need to talk about it. That's what next week is going to be about. It's going to be a special 10th episode bonanza. It's going to be really fun. You don't have a choice. You don't have a say. We'll see you then.